What is the most computer illiterate thing you've witnessed? We hired a guy for software testing. We gave him a Word document that was basically text and screenshots about the application he was supposed to test. I left him alone for 30 minutes. He finally came to me and told me that he could not log into the application. I asked him what the error was, and he said he could not get the login prompt to accept any text. Well, he did not have the application up. He only had the Word document up. He was trying to log into a screenshot of the application. I couldn't help but laugh my ass off. I used to work tech support for a few ISPs. I once had a customer call in. He had just signed up and received his modem, but couldn't get online. After a few minutes I discovered that he didn't own a computer. I worked for a telecommunications company doing installation of high-speed data and cable. We had an elderly woman call in to set up new internet service, and she asked our call center rep, "Do you supply a modem, or will you use mine?" Our rep stated that we will supply her with a modem. When I got out to her house, I asked where she would like it set up, and she pointed to a monitor and a keyboard on a desk. I looked around but didn't see her PC tower, and it went like this. Me: "Where's the rest of your computer?" Her: "You guys said you'd bring the modem." Me: "Yes, I've got it right here, but where's your tower?" Her: "I threw it away. You said you were bringing one." She thought her PC case was a modem and tossed it, thinking we would be supplying her with a brand new computer. At least 5 times a year I have to deal with my computer froze up, so I grab 2 double-A batteries, go over to the employee's desk and place the batteries in the mouse. Voila. You should ask the company to stop buying wireless mice. Once I went to an office where the client was complaining that her computer broke at 10 o'clock every day, so I aimed to get there for 9:30. 10 came and went and not a single error to report. So I go and find the owner and tell her it's all okay. She asked if I could stay on and just check the system over for her. She offered me a cough, which, being a computer technician, I obviously accepted. So, she reaches behind the computer, pulls out the power cord and plugs it into a small kettle by the computer. She then points at the screen and screamed, "Look, it's just gone off again." Me: "Okay, highlight the sentence and right click." She highlighted the sentence, then typed the word "click." So, a while back at the company I work at, there was this senior VP in the legal division as a patent attorney. This guy was one of the best patent lawyers at our company at the time. Really intelligent, and a lot of people looked up to him, and there were instances where the fate of the company was in his hands when the company was young and smaller. Now this guy has to deal a lot with patents and contracts, reading them, editing them, approving them, and so on. So with these documents that are typically around 20 pages but sometimes are up to 50, there is a lot of that involved. The editing process for this guy, however, was slightly different. You see, he didn't know how to copy and paste. So what does he do, you ask? He retypes every single contract and patent as it comes through, even for just slight edits. Retypes the whole freaking thing. 20 pages, with every single document he gets. He does this for 2 years before someone finds out and introduces him to copy and paste. One of my favorite workplace stories. I guarantee you this was actually part of his success. If he was forced to retype an entire document, he'd have to process it in his own words explicitly, which would help him truly understand what was going on, and ergo, provide the best suggestions for editing the patent. This sounds like an interesting, albeit tedious, method to truly learn and understand something. A coworker of mine asked me how much it costs to email Canada from the US. Back in the early 90s, we were using Procom to support users remotely. They just had to have a modem, install the software, and give us the number. Anyways, most of our clients were small non-profit outfits, typically staffed by older folks, and one of them was having issues. We tried and tried to connect, got nothing. Asked them repeatedly, "Do you have a modem? Is it plugged in, turned on? Is it attached to the phone line? Is it attached to the computer? etc. etc. All yes." So eventually we decided we'd have to make the 2+ hour drive to their location to help them in person. The modem was duct taped to the side of the monitor with nothing connecting it to the computer, except the tape. I once spent nearly 20 minutes walking a user through copy, paste, and save as in Word. By the end of the call I was sitting slumped over with my head on my desk, muttering into my headset. I'd try to write up a transcript, but my mind has long since blocked the details of that memory. This must have been around 2003. I was working in IT at a big ad agency in NYC. I was doing a database project which dealt with financial data. I went down to accounting to sort some things out with one of the users. When I got there, I looked over the woman's shoulder while she was working and I saw that she had an Excel spreadsheet open. The sheet had a column of numbers along with some other data. I then watched as she manually added up the numbers on an adding machine sitting on her desk and then typed in the total. I was floored. It turned out, the entire department worked like this. I tried to explain to her that Excel will do that automatically, but I was unable to get through. After a couple of attempts, I just gave up and went back upstairs. Older woman using the address book on her computer. Her. How do I send an email? Me. Click on mail in the doc. Double quote. Her. Clicks on mail. Where did my address book go? Me. It's behind the mail window. Her. Looks behind the monitor. The biggest problem is that people who are computer illiterate incorrectly assume that their machine is smarter than them, and that's why they don't understand how to use computers. But in actuality, computers have no idea what you want them to do if you don't tell them in the few ways they understand things. The second biggest issue is impatience and reluctance to read instructions. If you were looking for your keys in your house, you don't immediately give up if they don't show up when you say, "Where is my keys?" Best line I've heard that summarizes this: a computer is a fast idiot. I taught a university class with another instructor which required students to install a bit of software. To help them, I recorded a screen capture film of the installation process with my voiceover. My co-instructor was not very computer proficient, so I played it for him to see if he could follow the instructions. We got to the end of the video and he says, "Great work. That was really easy." Rather pleased with myself, I prompted him to try installing the software. "What do you mean? Isn't it installed?" "No, that was just the instructional video." "What do you mean? What you watched was a video of how to install the software. It didn't actually install the software. Did something go wrong with the installation?" Best response: when you watch an infomercial about a new stain remover, it doesn't in fact remove the stains from the clothing in your dirty laundry basket. I can never change the homepage in my mom's browser from Google, or she can't use the internet. The internet is gone. Also, if she minimizes a window, it's gone forever. I also administratively locked the dock on her Mac because things kept disappearing. AKA, she clicked and dragged on accident and removed Safari from the dock. Haha, I've also had the internet is gone, as you, but also because the Internet Explorer icon had been deleted. This isn't my story but my dad's. He had his own little business for a while doing computer repairs. He got a call from a middle-aged woman complaining that every time she tried to reach the icons on the right side of her screen, her mouse would fall off the side of her desk. My dad replied, "Have you tried lifting the mouse up and moving it to the left?" Her. "Oh, thanks." My dad ran into someone once that would literally take the mouse and place it on the screen to move the cursor. Their accuracy was subpar since they couldn't see the cursor underneath their mouse. A few years back, a guy brought an Office 2007 and a Sega Dreamcast. Asked if we could install that on this. My dad double clicks on links every time, but he's been using computers for 30 plus years and is pretty much the go-to tech support at his company of 20 plus employees. He's fairly normal with everything else. That one thing just bugs me. Woman: "I can't copy this file." Me: "Alright, where is it?" Woman: "With my files." Me: "Could you show me where it is? Let's work this out." Woman opens Microsoft Word, goes to the menu and hits open. The file in question was some database file, so it doesn't open. Woman: "See." Me: "Let's go to your desktop and open my documents." Woman closes Word, back to the empty desktop, and proceeds to open Word. Open dialog. Woman: "I can do this normally." Opens a document. File. Save as. Network drive. Save. Me: "I'll rig it. Go back to your desktop. Now click on the icon that says My Documents." Woman: "Word is My Documents." Me: "Please mom, let me show you." I grab the mouse, exit Word, and teach her that My Documents exists outside of Word. and that you can drag files to save as them. That day, we figured out why that department had been asking for so many recoveries. I worked for an old guy who had no concept of opening files from Windows Explorer. If he wanted a Word doc, he would open Word and then open the document. Same for Excel. The funny thing was, if he didn't know what application the file was in, he would open each one in turn looking for the file. Used to work at a library with a public computer lab, so I've seen it all. My personal favorite, guy who has probably never used a computer before sits down and then proceeds to pick up the mouse and point it at the computer screen like a remote to try to select things. He was actually a time traveler from the future and couldn't understand your library's primitive technology. Me, how can I help you? Yeah, I know, you can, get bugs in your computer. How do I stop that from happening? Me, wait, do you think you have a virus or something? No, bugs. Me, I'm not sure what you mean. Well, when I went to, move my computer today, there were these little bugs under the desk, and I wanted to know if those, are the bugs that get in your machine. Me, silence. Are these the bugs? I then had to explain to her that the computer bugs are not actual insects. It's a nice throwback to why bugs are called bugs. I worked phone tech support during dial-up days. Needless to say, I have a lot of stories. Like a guy using his mouth like a foot pedal, a woman who couldn't get her computer during power outage, and a woman with horrible static on their phone line caused by an electric fence to keep the bears out. But 99% of phone calls went like this. Caller, I can't get online. Me, what does the error message say? Click click. Caller, it says no dial tone. Me too. Standard power outage fix. Me, okay sir, go to your microwave. Sir, okay. Me, switch it on. Sir, it's broken as well. Me, phone your power company. Click. I saw someone once take a digital photo of their computer screen, then upload it back onto their computer to be emailed. Bit ashamed, but I've had to do this. Back in my Windows days, my installation was all nuts and buggy and would not print screen, among other things. Also do this if I kill my bootloader, or some other crap during boot. Oh hi there, command line login. Mine is pretty short. My grandparents asked me to come over because their computer wasn't working. What was happening was they couldn't hear any sounds from the computer. I unmuted the computer and turned on the volume. At my last job, my boss was fairly proficient with Excel and he loved to use it. He made a spreadsheet for just about everything and even had some knowledge on using formulas, but every time he wanted to save progress on something he was working on, he would X out of the window and click yes when the pop-up came up asking if he would like to save his document. He would then open the spreadsheet again and resume working on it. Drove me absolutely batshit crazy. When I was working help desk a long time ago, CAD engineer thought rebooting her machine was turning the monitor off and back on. My mother accidentally deleted some icons on her desktop. She called me up freaking out that she deleted AOL. Yes, she still pays for AOL, and all of her emails and email addresses were gone forever. My ex's mother screamed bloody murder at her daughter for signing out of her email. She thought if you weren't signed in, you didn't get the emails. I swear to God, she was absolutely freaking out, and she's a CPA. My dad drove me all the way out to his office so I could fix his computer at work. In his words, he did something to it, and now it was not working. When he shows it to me, the first thing I see is the loose dangling cords for the monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Facepum. I used to work for the civil service. Some managers working remotely would ask their secretaries to print emails and post them to them because they didn't feel comfortable using email. In a similar thread a few months ago, someone who worked at a computer type place had a customer who would come in a couple times a year to buy a new laptop battery. The fellow didn't realize you could recharge laptop batteries. I once saw my mom trying to drag and drop a file across two laptop monitors. You have to use an external mouse for that. Plug mouse into one computer, right click, select copy, unplug the mouse, plug it into the other laptop, right click, select paste. You have been visited by the money frog. He says frog money to get $200 on Test Street. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.